Today is going to be an unedited video. I'm just going to have coffee with you and do a little chit chat. Okay. I'll answer a couple questions. I just think it's so cute. One of you a couple days ago said, "You look like an elf." Well, maybe I do because I've got this hair coming down here. That who I bet you who said it watch The Dark Crystal. I'm going to click in a memory if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's a very old movie. Jim Henson, The Muppets. It's a full movie. And it's called The Dark Crystal. It's got the protagonists and it's got the heroes and everything. And it's a basic good against evil, right? The Dark Crystal. It's a really good movie. It brings back a lot of memories for me. But remember the Gelflings? I look like Kira. Well, and here's a picture of her and Jen. Kira and Jen, yes. They were the heroes in the movie, yeah. The Mystics and the Skeksis. I'm the one who, oh my gosh. The Skeksis were, they portrayed the evil, yeah. And then you had the Mystics. Okay, if you haven't seen the movie, now you have to, right? But if you have, you might want to go back and actually watch it, yeah. Remember Olga? She slumped down. I think her name was Olga here. Where they went to see her, I think the Gelfling went to see her and she just slumped down. She goes, "Don't know." I just remember that. She did that so good. Don't know. Let's see what else. But the Skeksis, oh my gosh, yeah. I remember the one goes, "Chamberlain." Okay, you're gonna find this funny. But I know, I love movies and I love to act them out and have fun with the quotes and everything. But Kira, the Gelfling, they were Gelflings. They were a whole species. Yeah, there were all kinds of species. And the what happened was the Skeksis, which is very true today, if you think about it. What they did was they put them in these chairs. They tied them in these chairs and they sucked out. They put something in them and they sucked out their life essence. And then the Skeksis would drink it. Well, yeah, if you know a lot about the underbelly of what's going on in our world and the government stuff, you'll know exactly what I mean. And, yeah, it's, I'll just say adrenochrome. Anybody heard of that? Okay, let's not talk too much. Shh. Okay. Adrenochrome. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it really is a good movie, but yeah. What else was I going to do? Oh, somebody asked me a question. Okay. If you're traveling around to different states, how do you get your mail? Well, I can always tell, and that's a legitimate question, totally legitimate. And, but it does tell me that you probably haven't watched many Nomad channels, and thank you for watching mine. Yes, always stay with me. I give you good information. Yes, but I also give you information about what's going on in the world and about psychology and human behavior, which is really what I enjoy talking about. How and inspiration. So I am Minivan Lee. I live in my minivan. This is my minivan. This is my studio. Let me see if we got the pink and the blue, pink and blue. These are my hanging veggies. I did have a salad just a little bit ago. It was like my breakfast. Haven't had a salad in a while. But okay, so, and I've lived in a minivan. This is my second one for over 6 years now. Yay. I love it. Yes, I make my coffee in here, my little barista here. This turns into my bed when I fold this out at night. I roll it back up. A little bit of decoration going on here. Not much. This is it. I got my lights. I love it in here. It's as cozy as can be. I call it my little clubhouse, okay? The cool kids clubhouse. Come on in. It's sort of like Pee-wee's clubhouse. Yeah, this is Minivan Lee's clubhouse, right? Okay. How do I get my mail? Well, I call it a domicile. A lot of people call it their residence. You have to have one main residence, your domicile. Only one. You can have homes all over the country, all over the world, but you have to choose one to be your domicile, your main residence. Those are the laws of the government where you live that you abide by, with car insurance, your license, registration, your wills, your assets, voting, all of those laws that people live by. You're going to follow the laws that are, let me get this straight, that are wherever your main residence is. It has to be a legitimate residence, and you have to be able to get your mail there. You could have P.O. boxes all over the globe too, but you can only have one domicile, and you must be able to get mail there. You say, well, of course, why wouldn't you get mail? Well, seriously, you could drive around somewhere and say, oh, I like that house, write down the address and say, that's my domicile. Well, guess what? They're if you get your license, they're going to send you something, right? Your registration, they're going to send you something. You got to be able to get the mail there. You can't just pick an address, because what are you going to do? Go rob their mailbox? Be waiting every day? Yeah, you get the picture. Now, a lot of people travel and they have a mail forwarding service. But what I've come to realize is the reason you can't have a P.O. box as your domicile is because that's not a residence. Mail forwarding companies actually are in a residential area. I believe that's why. They have a residential address that can be used, and they'll charge you to use it and handle their mail. Moi, how do I handle my mail? Well, I use my daughter's address. She handles all my mail. By all intents and purposes, I live at her address, and I abide by the laws of that state and that county and the county and all of that. Yes. Yeah. So when I need to go back and get when my license needs to be renewed, because as you get older, they want you to renew your license more often. They want to check your eyes, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? So, and then if I bought a new vehicle, I have to drive back there to go get it registered because they want to see it physically first. The VIN number, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it'd be great to have, it's good to have your domicile close by where you normally travel. That's not so with me. Mine's in Ohio. So yeah, but that's okay. If you're going to use a family member, you must trust them, and you must have full faith that they care enough about you. They're not just going to willy-nilly throw mail away that could turn out to be very, very important, right? Okay, so that's that. That's how nomads travel around and they get their mail. Normally she never has to send me anything. Oh my gosh, everything's handled right online, right? But every once in a while, it's something really important. Like just recently, I had to get my little sticker. I could apply for my new registration, but I needed that little sticker to put on my license plate. Well, she had to send it to me. Now, where do I pick it up? I use a UPS store that's close by. I tell her, I pick wherever I'm at. I'll look and I'll pick a UPS store. I'll call them and say, somebody send me mail and pick it up there? And they'll say yes or no. And then I give my daughter the address, and then they send it. Yeah, then they do. The problem I had the last time was that it didn't come, and I had to leave the area. So then I had to, and then I went back. As soon as it arrived, I drove back down there and picked it up. So sometimes it can be a hassle, sometimes not. Sometimes it's so easy peasy. It's silly. Sometimes it's so silly. It's just easy to deal with. So those are things, and I've got in my book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Leeway, I address that exhaustively. I address what is a domicile, what laws are, blah, blah, blah. And then, how to talk to your family members. And I even say, get to sit down. And these are the questions you need to ask your friends and your family, your children, whatever, your parents, whatever. And so get the book if you're thinking about it, because it's the best van dwelling book out there, because I take you from A to Z, right? Thinking from the thought to doing it and beyond. Yes. Okay. I did want to mention about the dark crystal again. Such a fond memory. I mean, that was like a flash bulb moment for me, right? Way back, my first time ever getting cable, right? My children were small and we were going to get cable. I think my third one she was still like a baby. Yeah, she was like a baby, like 1 or 2 years crawling around. But we got cable. We were all excited. And it was like, as soon as he left, the cable man left, we turned it on and we got HBO. It was like in a minute, the Dark Crystal came on, the music of HBO movie. And we were like, looked at each other like, oh my gosh, it's like magic, and we were just enthralled watching it. It was a really good memory. Yeah. My next subject that I want to talk about, let's have another sip, shall we? I have a lot of new viewers. Welcome. I love you all. And I think this is a fun channel. I really do. A lot of people say, this is the best nomad channel, van dwelling channel. Well, I don't know about that. I really don't do much traveling. I really don't. Just so you know, I don't do a lot of traveling. I did before. I'm tired of traveling. And with gas prices, oy vey schmear, again. No, I'm not going to just waste gas and put a lot of wear and tear on my home. This is my minivan. I want this home to last me as long as I can, which means that I'm not going to drive it unduly to see things I've kind of already seen. My theory is when you are a nomad, when you're a van dweller in the beginning, the first couple of years, you're just driving everywhere. I'm just seeing everything. It's the freedom of being on the road. I'm at a point where I have the freedom of not driving because I find it a chore. I really do now. I just find it, there's a train going by here. I find it kind of a chore. It's kind of like, you got to get ready for it. Right now I'm finding driving a little bit exhausting because let me get back here so I can act this out. When you're driving, your mind is on alert all the time. I mean, it's just never ending. Your mind is on alert. You're just looking at this. You're looking behind. You're checking, and you're driving, and you're keeping up. And you might have some music on, but your basic is the road. Let me move this just a bit. Your basic is being on the road and making sure you don't get in an accident, making sure there's something ahead, making sure what's this person doing, making sure if you want to get around this truck that's going really slow. It's exhausting, I tell you, to do it. So even after like a couple hours, I like to stop at a rest stop. My thing is every rest stop I stop at, whether I need it or not, I just stop it. And I go in and I kind of get out, walk around. Even if I've just done it a half hour ago, I stop at the rest stop. I don't like to travel now more than 2 hours at a time. Maybe 3, but then I got to get out, yeah. So I'm not big on the driving so much now because I find it kind of like it's tiring. And then just sitting there, I don't like that position where my back, my butt, and then my feet down here. This position, it's not good circulation. So, but if I have to go somewhere and I need to get there quickly, oh sure. It's kind of like, ooh, let's go. because it's a good destination. The problem is always going back. It's like, but okay, so if you're new to my channel, that was my explanation of why I sort of stay in one spot for a season. Then when the weather starts turning drastically, I go to another location. That's just the way I do it. Yeah, that's the way I like it. But everybody has their own style, so don't worry about it. If you're a new nomad, go travel. Go be a tourist. Go see those national parks. Go see those wonderful mountainous sculptures. And yeah, go do it. Go do it. Last summer, I spent so much time at the Grand Canyon, camping and being at the Grand Canyon. I'm so close to it, but I don't know. I just haven't gone. It's like, okay, well, I kind of saw it. I'm just not one I'm more of a people person. And so I like my routines. I like to keep a routine down. Like, I'm going to do this in the morning. This is just my home. Just because I live in my minivan doesn't mean that I need to drive it all the time. I probably drive less or the same as a local of where I'm staying. And that's the way I do it. But I did want to address, so welcome everybody if you're new. I did want to address again, why do I live in a van? Why did I do this? Why am I living in a van? Why am I doing this full time? Why have I done this for 6 years? Well, I think for me, number one reason is because I need to. I do. I don't want to spend any more money on rent for crappy apartments, and I'll leave links for the videos where I talk about that. I don't want to live in an apartment anymore. I don't. And I'm not going to buy a house. When you buy a house, oh my gosh, you're kind of stuck with your neighbors unless you really have a really nice neighborhood. In my experience, neighborhoods can fall pretty quickly, especially in southern Arizona. Oh my gosh, they can fall quickly. You can have a really nice neighborhood, and within 2-3 years, it could be property value, everything, and the neighbors just, something happened. Something evil this way walked in. I remember that movie, Something Evil This Way Comes. I think it's Something Evil This Way Comes. Yeah, that was a good movie, actually. So, something just happens. Now, if you live in an apartment, who knows who your neighbors are, and they come and go. You could get some neighbor that could end up, well, I do have a video of violence. They can become very violent. And there's such instability right now with people. You don't know what people are going to do and think. You could look at them wrong and they'll shoot you. So I do it because I don't have the funds anymore, nor do I choose to use my funds in that manner. I'm not going to sit here and make a landlord rich that a lot of them don't want to put money back into their place. I just don't want to, and your neighbors are crappy. So that's why I do it. I really think for me personally, it comes down to the money aspect. This is so much cheaper. Now, I hope you're following my budget plan. Yeah. I mean, I've got money in savings. I'm not destitute. But what I advocate is living in your vehicle and getting a job. If you, let's say you don't have savings and you need it because you need maintenance on your vehicle. It's your home. And you may have to replace it. So you want the money to do that. Well, I advocate, and I've been really advising people that don't have a savings to go ahead and get a job. Settle in an area. Hopefully you pick a state with a high minimum wage, because that might be the kind of job you're going to get. Something that might pay minimum wage, or something that you can walk into and then walk away from. Pretty easy. I mean, you don't want to walk into something where they need you to be there for the long haul. You know what I mean? I used to work Amazon places, and you could kind of go around different cities and do that. So I did that for a while. But I suggest that you get a job. You can do Walmart. You can do fast food. You can do whatever. You can do Sam's Clubs, Costco's. Get a job. Live in your vehicle and don't drive much. That I say you can do it without spending a month $500, and everything over and above that you stash in your savings, and you build your savings up. So you work as long as till you get your savings built up. If you could do at least $2,000 a month. Save that. Let's say you get just a little bit in Social Security. Just use that money and then get a job, and everything that you make on your job, which is what I did, you stash in a savings. It can go up, 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 up. So that's how you do it. So my budget was, well, if I'm advocating this, let's see if I can do it. So the month of June, I'm doing my budget. Yeah. I put down $720. Okay. But in reality, I do have two phones, but it's really because of business. So it really would be like, if I took that, I didn't want to include business in there because I'm in business. My insurance is higher. I have to use different apps on Apple for my business and for my videos, things like that. So I really think I could take one of those phones off, and I really do think $500 to $600 you can live off of. You can do it. So I hope you're following this. I'm heading towards my second week, and I'll update you once a week on how I'm doing on my budget. I will update you right now. I'm doing very well. I've been doing this, and I've been at one point, I went with a friend and we went to the food bank and did that. And it's okay to use a food bank. If you don't use it, if nobody ever uses it, says, well, it will stop. The donations will stop. So yeah. And my Social Security is pretty low. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Okay. So the budget aspect. My main reason for doing this lifestyle is money. But I'm so used to it that I've learned I just love it. I mean, this is my cozy place. Yeah, I got my drawers, bins. I've been doing a little bit of different. It's nothing noticeable, but I've been tweaking some of my things. And this is just one. I actually put a hand towel up here. It just makes it so much nicer. Why wasn't I doing that for the past 6 years? But I did put one of those glue pads right there so that this doesn't keep, I put one on each corner. Just little things like that. I got another towel system over here in these bins. Let me show you. It just looks neater. It just does. Let's see. Yeah, see, I just got, and so there's nothing showing here. I'm not going to edit this, so bear with me here. Here's one of the reasons that I'm not doing too much editing. In the summer, the smaller channels don't really get as big of views. They just don't. Even if I found last summer and the summer before that even if I went on about it and I did all this filming and I stitched them all together, and that takes a lot of time, I still didn't get as many views. I got about the same amount of views as I'm getting with just here. So for the summer, I think that I'm not going to do major filming out there. I think that this is kind of fun doing cozy talk. Yeah. This is coffee chats. Remember coffee talk? Yeah. Coffee talk. It was Mike Myers did it on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. He loved Barbara Streisand. He goes, yeah. She goes, buddy, his say. It was so good. Okay. So, I know most of you remember that. Okay, so let's go with something else. Why else? Why else am I doing this? it's not so much, oh, it's so cozy, it's my little clubhouse. And of course, the first one is, it really does save me money. But the next one would be freedom. It is such freedom. I can sit here and I'm looking out my window, and it's just pretty darn cool. Yeah, I get a new, different scenery all the time. I move where I want to move to. Once I learn a city, I know where I can park, where I can't park. It's a lot of freedom. And I think that would be maybe even number one for a lot of people. There are people that have really big pensions. They've got their portfolio stocked. And even if I know some that live in a minivan, they like the minivan. It's very stealthy. It's easier on gas than an RV or a bigger rig. Yeah. So, but I bet their number one is the freedom, because they've got the money. They've got that. Me, I make, my Social Security is a little bit less than $1,000. I could live off of it. Oh yeah. But it's not as fun, and it doesn't make for a good, building up your savings to buy a new rig or to maintain it and then still have some left over. So, yeah. So I'm Kira the Gelfling. I'm the Gelfling. I'm an elf. I'm like a little elf. They were like elves, but they had a little, the horse look about them, didn't they? Yeah. Good movie, The Dark Crystal. And then we talked about the Dark Crystal, the Gelflings, the Domicile, and the main one is, why do I live in a van? And why do I do it full time? I don't know. It saves me money, and I like it, and it's a lot of freedom. Also, let's see. What was I going to say? What was that? By golly, I think that's it. There was something else I was going to talk about, but I forget. And I can't edit this out. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Okay. So anyways, I love you guys a lot. I'll be doing a lot more videos like this. I do want to do a video about a couple different personality types, so you're aware of them, so you can be aware of them. I know what I was going to talk about. Let's just stop the world right now. Julia. Love you, Julia. Shout out. Okay. Julia posted a link to a video she found on YouTube, and it was a news report, and it was quite serious. I mean, they were serious about it. So I'm going to leave the link for that. But a lot of people, even the police, said they saw it. There were these lights, the 3 or 4 lights that came down just out of the sky. They just shot down, right? Well, this one guy called 911. This was right after. And he seemed pretty calm. And this is legitimate. He said, there are 2 beings in my backyard. They're about 8 to 9 feet tall. And they had these eyes, and I'm looking out the window, and they're looking right at me. He didn't seem that upset, but he was just like, and she goes, well, let me get this straight. Were they human? He goes, no, definitely not human. Well, after he made that call, I want you to watch this. After he made the call, he said that when the police came, they said, yeah, we saw those lights come down. And there were other people that were coming out, and they said, what lights? The police actually were taken so serious, they were stopping cars going by. Did you see any lights come down from the sky? A couple of them said, yeah, I did. What's going on? So I'm going to leave the link for that. Oh my gosh. I know. Pretty crazy. Yeah. Well, now I can say goodbye. I love you guys. Okay. But I'm going to mention that my next video might be on the personality disorders. I find it fascinating. And if anything ever goes down, like a shit hit the fan situation, which could happen, EMP and the grid goes down, or the grid just goes down, or there's a blackout, tornado, whatever, right? these are the types of people that are going to really be creating a lot of crap for us. You know, a lot of us will be like, okay, let's get together. These people are going to be freaking out. That's why it might be good to maybe have it's kind of a bottle of whiskey or something. Here, take a drink and be quiet. Sit over there in the corner, right? Okay. Okay, here we go. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I do have the black neck gaiters. Come on, you guys know you like the black. And I've got the blush you up. Yeah, the pink and the pink and gray. Ooh, this is so pretty. Yeah. So, and I should have had them out so I could show you. But I don't want you to wait while I have to get them. Let's go. Got the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Leeway. Love you. Bye.